You know that silence? The one that only ever happens on a first date? It's heavy, right? It's just full of all these unspoken questions, all these expectations. You're just sitting there looking at this person who's basically a stranger, and you're trying to figure out if they could be, something more. And of course, your mind is racing, just thinking, what do I even say next?
But what if the biggest mistake we're all making isn't about what we say, but about how we're even thinking about the whole thing? What if the real key to unlocking a genuine connection has nothing to do with a perfect script and everything to do with a completely different mindset? By the end of this explainer, you'll see why this one little shift in your approach, well, it can change everything.
You're listening to Stereo Butterflies. We talk about love, lust, and loneliness like no one's listening.
Just so you know, this explainer was put together with a little help from AI technology, just to make sure we're giving you the best insights possible. Okay, so let's get into it.
We have all been there. I mean, the lights are low, the menus are put away, and all of a sudden, the conversation starts to feel less like a date and way more like an interrogation.
I'm pretty sure this is the single most common complaint about modern dating. That awful feeling of being evaluated, like you have to perform. And it happens when we get stuck trading resumes, right? Where do you go to school? What do you do for work? Where are you from? We're exchanging all this information, but we're completely missing the one thing we actually showed up for, a feeling.
And that's the huge mismatch, isn't it? A job interview is meant to be an evaluation. It's supposed to be formal and structured, all about getting information. But a first date, its whole purpose is completely different. It's all about exploring an emotional connection. It's supposed to feel natural and balanced, kind of open. So when we drag that interview vibe into a date, we're basically using the wrong tool for the job, and we really shouldn't be surprised when it fails to build any kind of spark.
So, if it's not supposed to be an interview, then what is it? This right here. This is the core mindset shift that can take a date from being super stressful to something you actually genuinely enjoy.
So here's the crucial idea. You've got to adopt the exploration mindset. Stop thinking of the date as a performance where you might get a bad review. Instead, try to see it as a chance to just wander through someone else's inner world for a bit. What makes them tick? What makes them laugh out loud? What are they truly passionate about? The moment your goal shifts from impressing to just exploring, all that pressure, it just dissolves. You're not a nervous applicant anymore. You're a curious traveler.
Okay, so you're ready to be an explorer. Great. But even the best explorers need a map, or at least a compass, right? Now, these questions, they're not a script you need to memorize. Just think of them as tools. Tools to help you open up some really interesting new territories in your conversation. Our little map for this exploration has 7 key starting points, so let's kick it off with number 1.
This question is just brilliant because it's so disarming. It's not asking for their whole life story, just a small, recent moment of joy. It instantly shows you their sense of humor. Is it witty? Is it silly? Is it a little dark? And it kicks things off on a really light, shared emotional note. It proves you can learn something truly meaningful about someone without having to be so serious.
And from there, the exploration just keeps going. You can ask about travel. Where would you go tomorrow if you could? This isn't just about vacation spots. It's about their dreams, their sense of adventure. Or you can get a glimpse into their life balance with, what's your idea of a perfect weekend? This tells you how they relax and what really brings them joy. You could invite them to share something unique about themselves with, tell me about a hidden talent you have. Then, something more playful like, what's a random fact that recently blew your mind? That shows you their curiosity. You could even tap into a bit of sweet nostalgia. What did you love as a kid that you still enjoy now? And finally, the big one. If money were no issue, what would you be doing? This question cuts right past the job title and gets to the heart of their deepest passions. See? Each one is like a key to a different room in their world.
Now, every exploration has its potential hazards, its rough patches. Knowing what to avoid is just as important as knowing what to ask. And this isn't about being scared. It's about being smart and respectful of the journey you're both on.
So think of these topics as emotional landmines on a first date. It's not that they aren't important topics, they absolutely are. But on a first meeting, you just haven't built the trust or the context to handle them. The X talk just kills the mood in the present moment. Big topics like politics or future babies can feel like a premature test. and deep personal traumas, that's a really heavy burden to place on a stranger. It all just boils down to one thing: timing.
First thing, just breathe. A silence isn't automatically a failure. Sometimes it's just a moment to think, or to sip your drink, to actually look at the person across from you. But if it starts to feel tense, don't panic. Just pivot. A simple, lighthearted shift like, okay, random question for you, can totally reset the energy. The goal isn't to fill every single second with noise, but to keep the shared experience comfortable and positive.
This is such a crucial difference. A personal insight is sharing how you felt about a movie, or a little realization you had on your walk to work. It reveals who you are. A personal burden, on the other hand, is your unresolved trauma, your deep-seated insecurities, your family drama. One invites connection, the other demands emotional labor. On a first date, you want to stick to sharing insights.
So, you've shifted your mindset, you've explored with real curiosity, and you've navigated the terrain carefully. You've basically created the perfect conditions for something real to happen. And this is where we arrive at the heart of it all.
And this is the ultimate truth of it. After all the questions and all the talking, you realize the spark isn't in the words themselves. It's in the feeling behind them. It's the way their eyes light up when they talk about something they're passionate about. It's that shared laugh over some silly childhood memory. It's that quiet moment when you both just realize you see the world in a similar way. You're not connecting with a list of facts. You're connecting with a person. And that feeling, that's what we were searching for all along.
So what's the big takeaway here? Ditch the script. Just be curious. Steer clear of those emotional landmines. Ask questions that open up entire worlds, not ones that just give you facts. And remember to listen just as much as you talk. In the end, you're not there to force a spark. You're just there to create the space to see if one happens to catch on its own. So maybe the next time you sit down across from someone new, the most important question isn't one you ask them, but one you ask yourself. Am I here to evaluate, or am I here to explore? If this episode gave you value, share it with someone you care about. Hit subscribe and leave a review. You've been listening to Stereo Butterflies.